Hey, Ryan Michael Galloway here with We Don't Need No Stinking Record Company.com, and I'm with Dano, or Dan Scott Parr, and we're talking niche marketing, and we're talking, well, I wanted to approach one other concept with you here. Of course, you can sell your shows, and of course you can make a CD, and I believe you have made a children's CD, okay? And the next thing is, are there other products that you can come up with, especially in the realm of this niche, which is for kids? I understand some of the things that you've worked on.
Yeah, well, I used to always write little stories and snippets of things when I was working at the elementary school and at other schools.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple of years ago, I started writing some short stories, real short. You can read them in 7 or 8 minutes, and they were supposed to be story starters, conversation starters, where a teacher or a parent or whomever might read this story, and it was supposed to initiate a conversation about something.
Gotcha. Some lesson,
Life
lesson that the child needed to learn,
could be a life lesson, or it could just be something interesting
fun
to talk about.
Okay, gotcha.
Whatever, adventure, science, anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I've looked into all sorts of avenues for publishing, and then there are a lot of gatekeepers in the publishing world, just like there are in the music world. A lot of people to tell you you're not good enough.
Yeah.
And so I started thinking, okay, well, I don't want to go down that road again. If I can find a way to do it in music, I can find a way to do it with my other stuff too.
Absolutely.
And so, because I do a lot of my own recording, or most of my own recording now, I thought, maybe I can turn these stories into audiobooks to start with.
Ah.
And so that's what I've started doing. I've started recording them as little 7 or 8 minute short story, audiobooks, I guess, if you want to call it that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm about 2/3 of the way finished with a new CD, and I'm going to experiment this time and see how this works. But the CD's going to be, part of it's going to be songs, and then I'm going to have about 4 or 5 of these short stories on there as an introduction, and see how they go over.
I love the fact that you're experimenting. I mean, I can think of like right now, for instance, I just put out a CD. It's been out for a little while in digital form, but I sell a lot more physical stuff than I do digital. And I'm playing for people, and I can hand them a CD and they can buy it. Okay, so one of the things that I thought of doing, or that I am doing, is I'm putting them out maybe 100 or 200 at a time instead of pressing 1,000, because then it allows me to experiment a little bit with, like, changing the cover, or changing a little bit about the packaging, or trying different ways of selling it and that kind of thing. And so, are you thinking about the same thing, relatively short runs with your stuff, and we'll see how that mix of music and stories works?
I have been doing that, and I'm experimenting, and I'm selling more at shows too than online or anywhere else. But I'm trying to figure out how to get as much out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want people to hear everything that I've done. I'm not trying to, I don't want to have one product that's real expensive. I would rather have, here's all my stuff, and make it really affordable.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm experimenting with some different pricing type things, and just trying to get an idea of what's going to be the best for me and with my audience.
Excellent. Well, I got some more to talk to you about, so let's come back tomorrow night. I am Ryan Michael Galloway. I'm with Dan Scott Parr, or Dano, and we don't need any, try that again, we don't need no stinking record company.com. We'll see you tomorrow night.